you could really improve on.
If you don't, if anything, you don't need to touch nothing. IGN just got to be mad. It's too realistic. Well, put the sticks down.
Right. Go play
Like,
fucking NFL Blitz or some shit.
Hey, exactly. Let's see. Are we live? I think we're good.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're live. Okay.
Oh, we got more people in here today than last time. Y'all motherfuckers wanted to show up all late last time. Yeah, I'm cussing our viewers out. Fuck that.
Hey, listen. I think the topic probably got them a little more interested. We need to get more clickbaity topics. I guess. I don't know.
Apparently, because I was watching a video earlier today, and the person summed it up just fine. It was just like, whatever content you started your channel on, you try to like introduce something else. Everybody's like, no, we need more of the content we're here for. And I'm like, and it's hard.
Oh man, you right. That's why some people who do breakdowns just never mind.
You should have put in the title, will sports fans dying by attending, but will sports fans die by attending sports events? Bad viewers are there.
Listen, that you right though, because negativity do sell, and I try my best to shift away from it as far as the titles go. But when we get in here, we just go back and forth with that all day. Nevertheless, I think this is going to be an interesting episode, honestly. Episode 136 of the First and Framerates podcast. Myself, Bill's fourth, DJ 81. DJ's been putting out content. Why y'all haven't been looking at it? Y'all need to. Bill,
we shaming motherfuckers today, ain't we? Good God.
No, I'm just saying, man, like, they need to go check out his stuff. You know what I mean? Like, chill.
Yeah. Hoes.
Damn.
Right. You can add Bills on Twitter, and he may say something back. Hey, it might be a lucky day. Maybe one day he'll say something back.
I'm always logged in, but I don't have the app.
He was hot about that stimulus check, though. He was like, "Did the check come in? No. Did the check? What the fuck? Where'd the check go? It went to so and so.
He about to get ready to try to slap Trump, Pence, IRS."
Nah. You know what? Trump good in my book. Trump good in my book for now. This ain't his fault. This is the motherfuckers that they're talking about. Oh, thank the IRS work. Thank him for what? The motherfuckers sent half the damn stimulus checks to the wrong accounts or closed accounts.
And then half of the time they trying to take your money anyway. So.
And they had the nerve to say, "Oh, we had no idea." Well, bitch, log on Twitter for once. Sorry ass.
Well, also the back end is that now the banks they're authorized. They can take those. They can take that money away from you. So
really.
Yep.
Okay. I know first thing in the morning. I know what I'm gonna do.
I mean,
throw most of that in investment.
I mean, it depends. It depends though, because if it's closed, it just will bounce back automatically. But if it's, the banks that they're sending them to that you do have active accounts, oh yeah, they could take that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm hitting, like fuck.
Yeah, I'm hitting the ATM up tomorrow.
Young Noble is correct. They're even sending dead people checks.
They said a couple of dead people got checks. They're like, yo,
damn. They say you can't take it. They say you can't take it with you. That motherfucker's like, hold my beer.
All right, they're like, watch this. A lot of people like saying I'm making live sports safe. I'm not. I want y'all to understand. I'm not necessarily. I know Real Football Gamer put in the chat already. It's like to take the helmets off. I'm not talking about that type of safe. I mean, obviously, I know what he's trying to get at, but I'm not talking about like, less hits and soft wrap up tackle. I'm talking about like safe for the fans because there's gonna be a time where sports gonna be coming back and we want to have ideas so the fans can go to some of these games. So I thought it was gonna be actually interesting for all three of us, including the chat. And people who watch later and don't comment on the show, but that's fine. Maybe they can comment and come up with their own ideas.
Fellow motherfuckers.
Wait, what's that?
Right.
Nah, he's talking about the people who watch the show and don't comment after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like they have all of the comments in the top chat. I mean, in the chat, but there's no comments on after the show is actually posted. Like you can go and look at. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, I mean, my main thing is like safe for the fans. Like they're already talking about the NFL is probably going to end up coming back on time now. There's still no word about the NBA coming back.
They said they're optimistic that they're going to come. I saw something before. They said they're optimistic that the season will be saved. So
right, yeah, I heard. And then you already got baseball going on in Taiwan, and their idea was kind of interesting. We'll talk about that. But when it comes to like fans coming
Ravens
to
Nation,
the,
we're not talking about that safety, dude. We're not talking about
he must
fighting.
he must be missed school shootings or something.
Wow.
Right. Like
Like he must think school shootings are still on topic. The schools are shut down.
We're talking about people fighting.
No, we're not talking about. I'm just talking about like how many fans are going to be able to attend, the procedures of them actually going to a game, how social distancing would take place, people that are doing concessions, VIP status, like people who buy VIP tickets, like stuff like I just want to know our suggestions, because I know within the next, I'll say around about time football season come, I know I got a feeling at least 2 sports are gonna try to get back up and running.
Bro,
So,
they're gonna be back up like fucking mid-May, early June, bro.
Right. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Something like that. That's what I was saying too. So I just want to know, like,
because I'm sitting here watching this horse shit on TV on ESPN2, and it's just like, yeah, we need these sports to come back.
Yeah, didn't they have like some type of League of Legends on ESPN?
Well, right now they're showing like WNBA Classic games.
Well, no, right now I'm watching on ESPN2. It's the horse competition, because that's Mike Conley Jr. and Tamika Catchings are playing horse.
Well, why do you have something different? Wait a minute. Oh no, that's not ESPN.
Right. So I mean, that's what I was. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to get at. I mean, I think this could be an open discussion. I know Bill's had another topic. We'll get on that later as well. It just didn't. You only have 100 letters you can put in the topic, so it wouldn't really fit. But we'll talk about that later as well. This is basically just an open discussion. Like, also the XFL, like, the XFL is no longer here, and that's probably not coming back. If y'all want to talk about that now, we can. I kind of want to make that another topic for another day, but it's all open to discussion.
We talk about another day.
Yeah, because I honestly I forgot about it, but that would be
shit, ain't no rush. Motherfuckers ain't coming back.
Right, it's like it could be interesting. So, like I said, this is an open discussion as far as nobody goes first or whatever. Just any suggestions the chat or any of us have, I guess we could just go at it and really just start discussing. Once again, iTunes, SoundCloud, you know where to find us. Google Play. If you can't find us live or you finding us on the back end after we record it, you can download the podcasts on those areas. So, with that being said, with that being said, I mean, any suggestions? Let's just go with it. What you guys got?
I mean, here's my thing. So I wouldn't limit how many people can come. That wouldn't be something I could do. What I would do is I'd say, look, if you don't have a mask, you're not coming to the stadium. That's first and foremost. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of stores are already doing that. They're saying,
some stores. I was about to say some stores are doing that now. Like I know one store here, one of the Walmarts is funny because one Walmart's doing it, another one's not. One Walmart asks you, they're not telling you they won't turn you away, but they suggest you to wear a mask. But I think that's probably going to be enforced harder if they don't. But I get what you're saying.
These bitches at Best Buy only they got pickup only. I was trying to go in there and buy a fucking Xbox One X today. It's talking about pickup only, and they don't got the shit. They don't got it where I can set it for pickup. I was like, man, fuck y'all. So now I had to order the shit on Amazon and wait for it to come now.
I bet if you was wearing a mask, you probably can get it.
I was wearing the shit.
Yeah, but the sad part is, it's like, wearing masks is one thing.
That's the way he answered that.
Fuck them, bro. Y'all was heated. I'm about to go cop this real quick. I'm about to go cop the Xbox One real quick. I'm finally ready to get one. And this ain't even stimulus check money because, like I said, I still don't have the shit. But I was like, fuck it. Like I plan on getting this week, so I'm gonna get it. And then before I could even get out my car, this bitch, are you here for a pickup? I was like, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna go in and pick up what the fuck I want and ring it up. What you mean am I here for a pickup? Your store is pickup. Like, what are we talking about right now? You're literally a pickup store. Like, she's like, oh no, it's only pickup that you order online. I'm like, eat a dick, yo.
Well, I tell you what,
you keep that shit up. They're gonna quarantine your ass.
Fuck them, bro. Then what can
DJ, what you were saying now?
I'm about to say it's one thing to wear a mask and be able to go in there, but it's another thing being black and wearing a mask and going in there. Talk about you going.
You would have been detained. Damn the quarantine part.
Right. Oh my god, man.
Now, DJ, what you were saying about your suggestion? Oh, I'm sorry. If you're not done, Bills, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say the only thing, like, so the mask is one thing. I mean, the other thing, I see. The thing is, I don't want to say, like, you can only have a certain amount of people, but I mean, damn, it probably
look at
that was wearing a ski mask. I was wearing one of them fucking medical masks. Yeah, they wouldn't even let me get out my car before they asked me that shit.
Yo, they didn't let you get out the car.
We say like the white people roll up and then ask them. These motherfuckers like, no.
Wait a minute, hold up. What color was that mask?
It was blue.
Oh, so were they wearing red?
No,
were they wearing red
masks? Nah.
They seen what the deal was. It was like, nah, he can't be here.
Personal business.
He tried to open the door. He tried to open the door. It's like, sir, please don't get out. Sir,
Nah, no Crips allowed. Sorry.
Right, like COVID-19, sir. COVID-19. You can't get out the car.
More like colored 19. That's more like what it was.
He said colored 19.
I mean, so the thing was, it's like, so I don't think you should limit how many people can go, but I think what the fuck was happening? I forgot what I was gonna say now. Fucking color 19 out here, yo. Oh my god.
You got my chest hurting.
Oh boy.
No, I mean,
gave him color 19.
I don't know, bro. I think they got to figure out a way to get it back up and running, but by the time they get it back up and running, there's not really a danger of people sitting next to each other. Like, I think that's going to be the main thing. I think the mask thing is really the only thing I have.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm going to get a shirt called Color 19 now just because you.
Don't do that, man.
I'm going to get one. They're going to be like, what the fuck that mean? But don't worry. Try to go to Best Buy. You'll see.
You know that has a.
All right, I'm good, man. I'm good.
The thing about it, there's a factual connotation behind that. It's very factual. We are the most affected by this, so yeah.
DJ, go ahead and finish, man. I'm good, man.
Man, I don't know.
Oh my god!
I can't stop laughing, man. That shit was funny to me. All right. I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. All right, go ahead.
I can make, the one thing I would suggest and make it a 2-for-1 deal. Do testing at the stadium. As they come in, test each one. Take care of the statewide testing so no one complain about, I didn't get tested. Well, we're taking precautions. We're aggressively approaching this. So
especially where how some of these tests are coming along, where like literally
you can 15 minutes though.
I think the newer ones now they can find in 15, and I think they're working on one you can find out in 5.
Ravens names owners do not know. That's gonna it's required.
No, DJ, I'm gonna get into that. I'm glad you said that. You can go ahead and speak on it, but I'm gonna get into that though.
Okay, yeah, because it's not up to the owners. It's not the owners that are gonna be paying for that. It's paid for by the state. It's state testing. So that would have to be done because you're basically sanctioning a large mass gathering, so you have to protect the people, and that's not up to the owners. The owners could, choose to not have the event, and that'll be it. But if you're going to have the event, and the state's allowing it, well, the state has to protect the people. So I'm like, it's too risky now, but later on when it dies down a bit,
because a lot of people don't realize it has for the most part, it has died down in probably like at least 80 to maybe 85% of the states. So whatever we've been doing actually
not in Maryland. still.
You're the 15%. You're part of the 15%.
I mean, yeah, it's like Massachusetts, but Massachusetts is gonna plateau soon anyway. I'm not really worried.
Right. I mean, like most of the Northeast, I think, like you said, Maryland, and I know Louisiana's another one, and I think Ohio as well. I think those are like the states are still like they're not like plateauing, but I mean they're not going up, but they're just still really at a high level.
Yeah, that's why. That's why it was funny when King Trump was like, "I tell them to when they open up, they better open up," and everybody was like, "You need to walk that shit back." And
right, like you don't know how this works, bro. And you notice, like now he's like saying he's working with the governors, and I was like, that should have been the case from the beginning. You don't realize it's 50 states, and there's a reason why you have mayors, governors, and presidents. Right. It works that way.
So here's the thing. So if we do the masks, then they wouldn't be able to sell concessions because you basically have to be like, you can't take that fucking mask off.
See, yeah. So I would,
so you'd have to be okay with going to
a game just to watch. That's it.
Now, that's a hit they're gonna have to take financially.
Yeah, because it's an essential thing if you're gonna, have the event. It's just essential functions only. You're going there to watch the event, go, and then leave. No tailgating, no nothing. You come in. Yeah. That time for tailgating will be the time you get everybody tested in through the gate.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Tell everybody to get there early, like it's the fucking airport.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you're gonna operate.
That's actually the thing. Treat it like you're going to an airport.
That is a brilliant idea.
Because you're talking about there's going to be two forms of testing. There's going to be not two forms of testing, two forms of processing. There's secure. Check them for anything, foreign objects, stuff like that, and then test them. And then the testing would be the last thing. I would actually flip it. Testing would be the first thing, and then, the whole, make sure you don't have anything. All right, you're good to go.
All right, these are the few suggestions I had when I thought about this topic.
Oh, damn, B5 here.
I know he's alive. No, I ain't gonna do that because he did come through.
I spoke to him last. I think I spoke to him last night a couple times. He was asking me about Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and
because he came to my Madden 08 live stream.
B5 said that drive home was smooth at 4:00 with this coronavirus going on. Oh, we coming at you hard, body, bro.
You know that you've been gone for like 4 months.
Motherfucker been gone all of 2020. Gonna come back talking about
right. Like the last time he came through, it was like before Christmas last year,
and we were signing off.
Right? Yeah, exactly. This is some of the suggestions I had. Like, I'm okay with the testing if they can do it in a quick manner. I've been to a hospital recently because, like, with my job, I work for Coca-Cola and I deliver to hospitals. And what they do, they have this thing where they can just scan your head and see if you have a fever.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot lately.
Yeah, they do that now. My thing is I would let people come to the stadium and they can use that test if, like, say, for instance, you say the COVID actually test takes too long, scan their head. If they have any type of fever above,
send
like, let's say, just send them away. If they have a problem with it, they can get, I ain't gonna say a full refund. Maybe they can get a half a refund back on the ticket or whatever.
They got a problem with it.
I think they should get a refund.
Well, we also got to think about this.
I can see that. I can see that.
Ticket holders right now. I don't know if anyone knows if any of the season ticket holders currently are getting refunds for this season.
Because I guess the thing is, obviously the masks make it 10 times safer immediately, telling them that you have to have a mask to come in. Mm-hmm. Not you have to have one in your possession. You have to be wearing it.
Or issue them.
Well, that's another thing. That would be
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm more content if they issue them because God knows what type of shit people will bring to the stadium. Talking about that's a mask.
Yeah, but I think you should allow people to come with their mask, but I also think you should offer them one. And that would be their, but of course the NBA would try to twist it, and all of these sports leagues try to twist it and fucking sell them. Like,
see, that's what I'm saying.
You want to get in? There's gonna be $5 for the fucking mask.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's how you not selling concessions.
But like I was saying, like they get scanned. If they're good to come in, if they don't have a fever, they're good to come in. Now, obviously, like you said, you're cool with anybody coming in, Bills. I'm okay with probably a third, maybe a fourth capacity at the most until the levels of the virus dies down more. Like when you first starting off, a fourth of the stadium pack, maybe a third, and people are still spread out within 3. I'll say maybe 2 or maybe 3 seats apart. And I'm not saying this.
How do you police it?
Wait a minute. I would have it to where, okay, if we're talking about a basketball game or basketball, football, I would just keep the seating, visitor side seating, home side seating, and cut it, and don't have the seats filled the end zone.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like if it's a basketball, like high school, like they'll be on the opposite sides, but nobody's on the baseline side.
Because in this case with testing and everything, you want to limit the amount of entrances. So if you have an entrance on one side, entrance on another, well, this is for football stadiums. But I think basketball stadiums, obviously they works a little differently. You have to walk around to get to certain spots. You can't just enter. It kind of depends on the arena. I think Capital One Arena has multiple entrances that you can pop up on different parts of the court. But I would have people stationed directing people to those sides so people can be seated in those sections.
Yeah, but then,
I mean, I'm pretty sure if they're going to do this, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a way to block those seats off. And
because the thing is, like, then you have to change how you sell the tickets too.
That's going to be different. I know that. That's going to be different. As far as seating, how they're going to police it, they can easily. I mean, there's not going to be that many fans anyway.
You got to take every third seat.
Yeah, no, you don't have to necessarily take them out, but if somebody's not paying,
no, I'm not saying take them physically out, but I'm saying like SeatGeek and all those places that people buy tickets. You're gonna basically have to black a third of those seats out.
Yeah. I agree.
The season ticket holders, I agree. If they haven't been issued a refund, there'll already be tickets on hold anyway.
Right, that's true. Man, I think those seats would be that, and if, like you said, at a game and nobody's like is following the rules, it's not gonna be that many fans anyway. You could probably like snatch them up and get them up out of there. And I'm pretty sure like some of the fans themselves, they're just going to be happy to be there because we actually got real live sports they can attend to. I'm pretty sure for the most part, some of them are going to try to police themselves because we don't know what Rodney may have. Rodney might have AIDS for all we know.
Yeah, why is that going to be Rodney though?
You better
color 19, fam. I'm telling you, man. Damn, color 19.
Like he better stay three seats away anyway. So I'm pretty sure people be so happy.
If that name Rodney, it must have been a bully that VF had.
No, man.
Had to been.
People don't even name their kids Rodney anymore.
Man, you chill, man.
They don't. Rodney's like a 1980s and 1990 name. Ain't nobody named their kid Rodney in like 20 years.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like, it could be a situation to where they'll police themselves if something like that goes down. So it'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, teams like the Charlotte Hornets won't have to worry about it because
the Washington Redskins won't have to worry about all that.
Yeah, I mean,
worry about getting people to the stadium in the first place. COVID-19 is not the only thing that kept fans away from FedEx Field.
I know, right?
Right? Yeah, it's
like the final fucking thing.
Shoot, losing
like, really 19, think about it.
Losing 19 games kept them away.
When you think about it, when things are healthy, you can get people to come to the games anyway. So you think get them to come down. But I just think. I think those two things or those three things, as far as the seating, checking somebody, like, I mean, I'm not against what you said, DJ, as far as testing them when they get there or, but I think the quicker way to get things, moving is like you scan their forehead and see if they have a fever. If they have a fever, let's say one. What's that?
What if you run into those, like, I know they're called anti-vaxxers, but they also don't want to be tested?
Then I'm sorry.
They go home.
Fuck out. Look at nah, fuck that, bro.
You go home. You go home. Straight up.
Like, get out of here.
Why you even here?
It's not your constitutional right to go to this fucking basketball game.
Like,
if you want to be that person, then shit.
You got these people staging protests for anti-lockdown, and they gather. They looking like State of Decay zombies out here. wearing MAGA hats and all that.
They can go. They can go watch Jamal and Jason play at the local fucking park then, because they ain't gonna be watching.
They can tailgate while they can tailgate while social distancing in the parking lot or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he said, you don't have the right to talk about Hollywood sports. Oh god,
I know, right? So let's say about I'm trying to think what else, what other type of event they have, because most of them are like indoor stadiums anyway. Well, outdoor, even though if they're outdoor, it's still a high risk. What about like, let's say tailgating? How would that go? I mean,
not
you think they would let them?
Not
no
allowed.
Tailgating.
None at all.
Bring your ass to the game and you leave when it's over.
Functions only.
That's it.
While you're there.
Okay.
That's it.
And people will try that. Well, tailgating is essential. Nope. That's loitering.
College games.
Think about it.
That's loitering.
That's basically what you're doing.
Oh my god!
I'm like, we're not gonna give you like 5 hours before the game to just hang around the stadium and get drunk. Hell no.
You said the next 2 years you forced it.
But before and after games, you know.
Wait, Daniel, what do you mean tailgating no but allowed into the game, bro? We're talking about two different.
Those are two different things
here, because
I mean, we already talked about how
crazy.
Yeah, they do, and we already talked about how it would be if they're in the game, like separate seats. You know, maybe 2-3 seats apart. Nobody's on the inside of the stadiums.
I mean, Daniel, think about this. How can you police people to wear masks during a tailgate? How can you police them not to drink from the same fucking beer cups and stupid shit like that?
But
it's different when you let them in the arena, because then you tell them what they can and can't do.
And plus,
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. How do you think that concessions will work as far as people actually eat? Like,
you can't. That's it. You can't.
And see, the thing is that we're looking at this in conditions that it's not going to be exactly normal. So we have to think differently about this. It can't just, turn that switch on and say, okay, everything's allowed that was before. I'm like, no, we're not there yet. And this has to happen in stages. So no tailgating.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. And that's another thing what you said about stages.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like something that like it's going to stay like this, like Pooh said, next 2 years. Like Bill said, he's pushing it. Like, you got to think about like this 3 seats apart, checking your temperature. That'll probably be like the first, like, let's say if the NFL have their full season, let's say like the first 4 games, it'll be like that. And then come to turn around, if the numbers are still low, like for the most part, maybe it'll be 2 seats. Then they'll have more people could come in. Maybe, other things can happen. Maybe they can tailgate maybe 20 people or something like that. It's not like a one blanket fits all for the next couple of years. It's going to be this way because, like, you look at it now, the numbers aren't as bad overall in the country, so things are changing. So it's going to gradually, get better. So that's why I was like, it's going to be a step down program, basically. Daniel he has a really good point right here. He said, and if you don't, he said, what about people? He said, even if you don't show any symptoms, you still be a carrier. Yeah, I mean, that's very well true, but that's once again, that just goes with the
for.
That's still the social distancing thing still.
But here's the thing with that happens at any point in the year under any condition. You can be a carrier, you can be a carrier of the flu before you even show symptoms. Same
right. It's basically the same thing.
Common cold.
Same with STDs. It's the same thing. So
right,
bro. We can't continue to say, oh well, until this shit is completely gone and there's 0 cases on any given day, that we just got.
It would never be gone.
And see, this is the thing. This is
never going to leave.
And this is why I brought this up, because of the fact that it's going to be some point where we just can't not have sports, or we just cannot have a way where we can't go to certain stores. We just cannot live the way this is. At some point, something has to be, something has to give. And something has to give where we can start moving again. Well, all it to be if we do have to wear masks, or if we have to go to a Target and have to wear a mask or get our temperature checked before we go into a store. So, I mean, that's just it. It gets to a point where we're going to probably have to live like that for a while. So that's why one of the reasons why I came up with this topic, because I haven't seen anybody talk about this nationwide about actually trying to make steps to make things different, suggestions that we could possibly go in the right direction, because there's just too much everybody saying that this person died, this person died, this person died. What are we gonna do? We're gonna stay home, and I get it, but after a while,
that's good. That's gonna happen before the summer, bro. I mean, people are already going out because they got that stimulus check.
Yeah, I mean, and let's talk about that for a second. It's off topic. Yo, I went to go get my son's diapers from yesterday, and yesterday was the day that everybody got their money. Mm-hmm. I promise you, bro, there's been so many people in these stores buying TVs.
God,
wow!
I kid you not. They're buying 4K.
Motherfuckers felt rich.
They buying Samsung OLEDs, Q90, whatever you call them. I mean,
the sad part is it's one payment right now. You're not guaranteed another payment.
Get another one.
Well, no, I'll tell you another sad part. 4K TVs ain't even that fucking expensive. So you told me you couldn't cough up $250 to buy a fucking 43-inch
bills
a week ago?
Bills. I'm telling you, some people were rolling out there with 2 and 3 of them going in their car. I kid you not.
I'm on Amazon right now. TCL 43-inch. Shit is $229.
I'm telling you, man.
And to tell you the truth,
not, man, there've been people up in there getting them, bro.
Samsung 50-inch, 360. I mean, come on, these shits ain't expensive. You motherfuckers waited for $1,200 to hit your account.
But
times is hard, bro.
But here's the thing: all you had to do is go on QVC and do the little flex play. You would have worked it into your budget anyway. You would get it right out the gate.
DJ, didn't you and I got the same TV off of QVC, didn't we? Mm-hmm. You got the Samsung 43, right?
Yep.
I did the same thing around the same time. I think DJ got this a little bit before mine, but we did the same thing. Perfect example. And then you get it right away as soon as you make the first payment, and just you can make the little. The payments aren't even that expensive.
Right. Just like these motherfuckers are acting like they're going out buying Surface Pros. Like, dude, it's not even that expensive. you could.
Like what they did before couldn't afford them that. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
Times is hard,
what job?
They lost their job, man.
Let me tell you something.
They waited until Colored 19 showed up. Now, right? When the stimulus checks show up, I'm gonna buy me a 40-inch TV.
Let me tell you something. If you can't afford a $250 fucking 43-inch 4K TV, you need to start turning tricks somewhere. Because I don't know.
Whoa.
Because I don't know how the fuck you can't afford a $250. I don't get it. It's not like back when I got my TCL when 4K TVs weren't really they were just starting to pick up.
When they were really like to get a low budget was like $500.
That shit was like $500 and that was on sale. Now you're talking about a 43-inch. Which is fine. I mean, if you're just getting a 4K TV just to play,
I went to get my son's diapers, like I said yesterday. They got like as little as $218 for 4K TVs. I'm telling you, some dudes was running out there. I knew something wasn't right, fellas. I knew something wasn't right because when I walked into the store, it was at least 4 or 5 people in a line walking out with TVs. I was like, damn, the TV's on sale or something? I might have to get me one. I go back there, man. It's the same. It's the same regular 43-inch TVs, and everybody. I said they're using their stimulus money to get these 4K TVs. Yo, man, no sense.
Okay, here's
no sense.
Look, here's the thing, and this is targeting our people. Dave Chappelle called it right on the Chappelle show, that skit when black people got reparations. Because it's like, as soon as we get the money,
dumbest shit.
What do we do? And that's the thing. But we put it right back into the economy. Back in there.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing, right? Okay.
Like not back into our future, but back into the economy.
Here's the thing,
not even. I mean, DJ, not even in the local economy where you live in your neighborhood.
Right. But here's how But here's how dumb it is, and here's how I know that they're just buying shit on a whim, right? Now, if they would have looked at the prices for these TVs and were planning to get one, they would have seen that it was the same price the whole time, right?
Bro, when it's $1,200 in your account,
out in $1,200. Oh shit! Let me go and get me a 4K TV.
Hey, bro.
You don't even play video games, motherfucker. Matter of fact, there's no 4K cable. That shit don't exist yet. So what are you watching in 4K? Netflix.
Bro, listen. Let me tell you what they did. Right? They got the $1,200. They got a 43-inch smart TV because they already had Netflix and all the stuff on it, and then they turned around and took like another $200 of it and paid up for the next 2 or 3 months of Netflix.
See, here's one with the like straight up. I didn't know that they were that cheap at this point. I might actually buy one. Like before I get my.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
I need one in my room. And I looked and I'm like, yeah, they're cheap, bro. They're dirt. I mean, see, you don't need a bigger TV than that in your bedroom.
Well, I mean, the married life got me in a bad shape because the one I did get that I was talking about, DJ, the 42-inch one. Well, my wife likes that one. That's not leaving where she has it. And I don't have a 4K TV at all. So I may have to get one.
That's what I'm saying. In my room, I have one in the living room, but I don't have one in my room. I have an LG just HD TV, which is fine, but like I want to play on a 4K TV.
Right. I made the mistake and bought it down so she could watch YouTube because it's a smart TV. Yeah. And once she realized how convenient it was, she was like, this is not leaving this room. So
see, and that's another thing. It's just like, you get a smart TV, you don't even have to have cable anymore. You just
you're right.
You just
have all the apps right on there.
Right. So you get the internet and that's it.
I mean, she loves it. She's happy, and I'm not tripping, but I don't have a 4K TV, and that's probably one of the incentives why I don't have my PS4 Pro anymore, because I got this 4K monitor, but I got so much stuff hooked up to it. Add another console to just gonna make it more convoluted. So I was like, well, I'm not playing nothing on 4K anyway. So
the main reason
I may go get one, because you're right, man. They're like $220, $250.
I mean, the main reason I rushed to get my Xbox One was because I'm like, bro, I need something to watch WWE Network on, because in my room, I would literally have to, basically take an HDMI cord and hook my laptop up to my TV, and I don't feel like doing
it.
I got a question. How much was the One X going to be when you went to Best Buy?
It's so it's $300, and it's $300 on
okay. That's what I'm about to say.
Yeah, it's $100 price drop.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They did.
2.5 weeks ago, they were $199. No joke.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about the One X or the One S?
No, the One X. The One X was $199 at the Microsoft store like a week and a half ago. No joke.
I thought it was $299.
Because now it's still $100.
They were $399, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they went down to $199 because they were trying to. I guess it was only on the Microsoft store. Yeah. I guess they were trying to get rid of inventory.
And now they're $299 most stores.
Once they got rid of the ones out of the Microsoft store, you can get them $299 everywhere else.
You can't find them in stores nowhere now, bro. It's like they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah, because I remember it was $199. Like it had to be like 10 or 11 days ago. That was insane.
I tried to download.
I don't even care about the Xbox One X like that, but that's an insanely low price.
I tried to download WWE Network on my Xbox 360, but it's old, so every time you try to download an app, like sometimes we'll say it downloaded and then it actually won't. There's a lot of crazy shit. So it's like, I really don't feel like I use WWE Network. I've used WWE Network more during this fucking quarantine than I had like throughout the year. And I never had it in my room. Yeah, so it's like there's a lot of shit you can go back and watch, and I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like plugging in my fucking laptop to my TV every time.
Y'all see the screen said this deal has expired? So look at that.
Oh, wow. Damn.
It was $199. I'm dead serious. This was $199 like on the 17th of March.
Damn.
Like no joke. They were like dirt cheap.
17th of March? I think at the point I wasn't even thinking about the Xbox at that point.
Was it 17th of March? No, yeah, it said this was on 17th of March when this was posted.
Wow.
Yeah, they were dirt cheap. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I have all my games already on there, so I just gotta re-download.
Yeah, because I would have been able to like do my State of K2, whatever. And wait a minute, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, State of K2, I probably would have been able to do that on a bigger screen because I do it from my computer monitor. And sometimes I like wish I had a bigger screen to play it on. I don't try to move my computer over. That's
Any other suggestions y'all got real quick for the sports games? I mean the sports games, but live sports, because I could think of like a few more. Like, how do you think it's going to be like on the sidelines for the media if they was to show up? How would they be treated?
I would say treat them the same way.
Yeah.
Treat
you know what? To be honest with you, even if we treated them the same way, I can see them being on the baseline sidelines doing reporting. I can see that. If you want to like separate the two or whatever, if they can't be on the sideline with the players, put them on the base, like on the back of the end zone or the back of the goalpost or behind the basketball goal, and they can do their media thing there, but they still have to be separated like everybody else too.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. Yeah. Well, you were saying something?
No, it went out for a second. I couldn't hear anything.
No,
because of my connection or whatever. All right, we're good.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else as far as that goes. I mean, if anybody else got any other suggestions, I know a couple things in the chat. I know somebody was talking about Madden 08, Madden 09.
Also in the comment section, put if you're gonna be watching that series about the Bulls on Sunday, starting Sunday.
That's no question. We're gonna talk about that on Tuesday. But that's gonna be a part of Tuesday. But that's going.
Yeah, MJ already.
This is a good one right here. Like how is everybody feeling? How y'all feeling about WWE with no people? Even the UFC was doing it as well.
Yeah, but they just went through that mass release just yesterday. So
me and DJ talked about this. I think the shows without people have their positives and their negatives, and I think unfortunately the negatives seem to outweigh the positives just because there are a lot of personal issues that they had that couldn't really play out the way they should have based on fan reactions. And the fan reactions weren't there. So
man, if this is the one time that they could pipe in fan noise, this would be the time.
Yeah, but then it'd be obvious. It'd be obvious. Remember, it's like the only time you really want to pipe in fan noise is when it's not so obvious, but it's like when the fans are there.
But at this point, everyone knows the fans aren't there. But it's just like a lot of there are people that have debuted under these conditions with no fans, and
but they've already been caught doing that though.
Yeah, the Falcons did.
Well,
no, I'm saying they've already WWE's been caught like in their
vignettes, crowd chants and stuff. They've
been caught like in vignettes, like changing, so they'd catch hell for that.
Oh, I didn't.
But I mean, I mean, it kind of is what it is. I haven't been watching much since after WrestleMania. I kind of lost interest, honestly. Without the fans, it's not really.
Well, I know the debut of Killer Cross. I'm glad they kept that MO he does when he appears. But also, I guess what's her name, Scarlett Bordeaux, is with him too.
She is. Because here's the thing, Real Football Gamer. I don't like how stupid the fans are sometimes. He said, I can't believe the fans actually make a difference, but they really do. They set the tone. It's like, I don't like how stupid the fans are sometimes, right? But to have no noise in the building, period, to the point where the announcer's voice is echoing.
See, that's what AEW has it right. They have like a couple of wrestlers on the side, and you hear spattering of what they say off on the side, and it's just like, okay, it kind of gives you that.
That's pretty interesting. You said they have wrestlers on the side, like you can hear.
They're like joking around and shit.
That's interesting.
But the thing is, it's like they said, like those bumps and hitting the mat hurts a lot harder when there's no fans out there, and when you don't really know where to go with your match. If you're calling it on the fly and calling spots on the fly, to not know where to go because you don't have a crowd reaction. They're not reacting. Right. You don't really know what the fans are buying and what they're not buying. So it just. It's tough. It has to be tough. It's like it's no different. It's like me imagining performing in front of no fans. It's like a fucking audition. It's like weird.
Yeah. That I can understand that. Yeah, I mean, because I've looked at it like a few minutes just to see, and I was more focused on like the choreography. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like that, but you know how wrestling is. It's a form of choreography. And I was just looking at it. I mean, the wrestling wasn't bad, but it did feel kind of hollow. I do agree with that.
Yeah, there's something missing. It's just, I'd rather the fans act like idiots the way they usually do than to have no crowd at all. I mean, it was cool for a couple weeks, and there are certain segments that it's kind of better without it. But overall, the show just has no energy, and it's kind of weird.
Because I was watching when I watched what's the name, Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. You want to talk about somebody who needs the crowd?
Needs the crowd.
Goldberg definitely,
absolutely right. I can agree. I definitely agree with that. I agree with that.
I'm like, it was just weird watching him, and you can tell that he's lost. He's lost anyway during the match. But I'm just saying, he is just lost without a reaction. Because
Mandy Rose and Otis.
Yeah,
that absolutely positively needed a crowd. As good as it was, to have no crowd react to him getting the girl finally it's just dry. It's very
there's a lot of payoffs that didn't have a payoff.
Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
I mean,
but then when they had him go up against Big Show, that actually was a match that didn't need a crowd because Big Show basically talked throughout the match and basically was telling people the story as they kept wrestling.
That's one of the benefits is like, I love hearing the wrestlers talk shit during the match. It's funny. They almost know that they have to make some sort of noise. Like that Undertaker and AJ Styles, I mean, they were just talking shit.
That was Pooh just put in the chat. They was talking about that.
They were just talking shit. It was great. How about Edge and Randy Orton?
See, I didn't watch that match yet.
I didn't need a crowd for that. I think just based on watching them two beat the hell out of each other, it was fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like you know certain wrestlers. I have to catch up, but certain wrestlers who need the crowd and which ones don't. And I've known Edge for a while. I know he's the type of wrestler that don't need the crowd.
Yeah, especially in this storyline because it was really personal. The personal ones you don't need a crowd. Just go out there and beat the hell. But yeah, obviously it'll always be better with spectators because the company has no indication what's getting over and what's not getting over.
Well, y'all give me your thoughts about this right here. There is one place that are playing games right now, professional games without crowds. They're doing it in empty stadiums right here, right now. And I want to know your thoughts about this. Professional baseball in Taiwan has begun in empty stadiums.
And that's interesting because they usually are packed.
Right. Because I mean, baseball is a real big deal in Asia, not just in Japan and that company that we don't, that country we don't want to name with their, spreading viruses asses. We don't want to talk about them. I don't even want to name them bitches. And, Taiwan and all these other ones, all the other countries in the Asian market, baseball is a very big deal. Baseball in the Asian market is like soccer in the UK and in South Africa and Brazil. It's a really big deal over there. Yeah. So they decided to start their professional baseball. Let me tell you what they did though. Check this out. Instead of having fans, look what they did. They got cardboard fans in the stands to make it look like it's packed.
Yeah, I did see that.
That's funny.
Shoot. Well, I tell you what, it would match what Madden used to do in their games.
Oh man, because they did have the flat guy, the flat looking guys in the stadium. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is actually pretty interesting, and it's actually pretty innovative to do this with basically with what's going on in the world with this type of virus, and people can't be close to each other. I don't know if it gives it a sense of normalcy, but what it does, my son grabbed the mouse. But what it does give it a little bit of relevancy to the game, I guess. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts about this?
Now I'm looking at the COVID-19 numbers for Taiwan. They have, just because I figured this is interesting. They're sitting at 395 cases overall, 155 people recovered, and 6 deaths. So as far as they're past their peak.
Yeah, they went way past their peak. Let me tell you what Taiwan did.
Well, if you think about it, it took place over in that section of the world.
Right.
So that section of the world should be passing their peak.
Right. Now, let me tell you what they did, because I've been following Taiwan news ever since this whole outbreak started. Taiwan knew that country we will not name, a bunch of bitches. They knew there was a bunch of, they're a bunch of liars when it comes to, things that they do with their country. So what they did, they prepared early. They started, checking for fevers. Anybody who came into any facility was basically tested as far as fevers, and if they looked sick, if they were sweating, they went home. They started doing this like back in late December. So they started like really early. That's why one of the reasons why, obviously they got a smaller population, but that's one of the reasons why they plateaued and peaked and went down the curve really fast, because they knew what kind of country that country we will not name. They knew what it was about. What are your thoughts, Bills?
I mean, it's interesting. I don't know how people here would react to
cardboard people in stands.
Cardboard
people. Hey, listen. Like DJ said, the baseline part. Maybe we don't need the media there. We just put cardboard people in the baseline area.
And that's what they really are in the long range scheme of things.
I mean, yeah, it's just I don't know. I think it might be too hokey for the American.
I think for Americans, this would be really stupid. The first
really hokey and really
and even the people have masks on, which is
now that part is
see that right?
That
yo, I gotta go. What the dogs and cats doing here though? You see the dogs and cats?
Yeah, what? They had a little cat with a handkerchief on.
Yo, look at this right here. It says monkeys up here. What is that name of the team or what?
My god!
Hey, not to be funny, but is that where you can purchase monkeys to eat? Oh, let's get out.
I'm leaving that alone.
let's get out of here. Let's talk about something else. Hey, listen, different places eat different things. Just
yeah, that's why I was wondering why there were dogs and posted up as cardboard. I figured. Oh, and speaking of which, I think China did take dogs off the list as far as the delicacy because they went through their whole exotic food list and dogs were taken off that list along with bats and whatever. So
bats, people over there, they really eat bats, bro. Anything else y'all got? I don't have anything else to say about this whole thing. You want to talk about another topic or whatever?
Well, I know one thing that actually was announced just in the last hour or so.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yo, it's like a lot of stuff to creep up on us at the last second. Good shot, DJ. Let me pull that up while you're talking about it. Go ahead.
Okay, so Maximum Football just announced that a partnership with Unity, which is the engine that they use for their football games, in which Unity will have some type of like a specialized set of animations, stuff like that. It's supposed to help them with their overall game, physics, lighting, graphics, and preparing for the next generation. And instead of and because right now the developers, they just work off of Unity just by themselves. So with this partnership, obviously they're going to be working together to improve a lot of the stuff that, you know, if you've played Maximum Football 19, and I have it, that they know they need to improve on, especially going into this next generation period. So if you can blow that up a little bit. Okay.
The picture part, right?
Yeah, because that pretty much is the summary of what is going on. Hopefully everybody can read that. But let me see.
Can you see it? Do you need me to blow it up some more?
No, I think people should be fine. I'm like, okay. I don't expect anybody to be that blind in here. But but the main part is really the last two is pretty much saying this partnership allows us to accommodate the next generation of consoles while improving the existing game performance. Example, frame rate, lighting, obstacle, player avoidance, which MLB The Show could learn a lesson from. Game physics, as well as the replay system. And then
I'm gonna be honest with you, low key. I'm actually curious about the replay system. I want to know what they mean by that.
And then it says, and here's the thing about the specific animations. Unity Professional Services is creating a custom animation system dedicated to Maximum Football.
That's very interesting. I didn't even read that part. That's Bills. What are your thoughts about this?
My thoughts about this are fuck Madden.
Come on, man.
There's a company with a fucking eighth of the budget that EA has, and they can go and make a brand new fucking animation system custom made for their game, and Madden is still sitting here with the same shit from fucking Gen 3?
2006.
I mean,
and I don't want people to think that Unity is like some pushover. And this is like the next best thing outside of RE4. Unity is really good. Unity engine is really good. So this is a big deal.
But it's just like you see all the shit that they're addressing, lighting and
obstacle player avoidance. So you're
MLB The Show.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, interesting.
Game physics.
And so I mean, all those things that they're yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say all the things they're addressing, and you think about the leap that their game took from year one to the last one they put out. I mean, you watch the first game they put out, and then you watch footage of this past one. Yeah, this past one isn't quite there yet, but God, I mean, even the way they improved the quarterback animations and movement.
A lot of people don't realize that 19 is a bare bones game, but it was a functional game. It actually was. It
didn't
pretty
look
decent.
very bad at all. Like when I was watching the gameplay, it looked pretty fluid. It wasn't exactly up to the standards that we're used to, but I mean, with this partnership, I mean, they can be, potentially a force to be reckoned with in a couple of years.
I mean, comparing it to other games nowadays, I thought it was a bad game. I even said it in my video. But but I'm comparing it to other games that are way far along than this one. But when you look at what they had, it's like it was a functional game that worked. It wasn't like you didn't have any funny bugs or anything. It was a game that if you wanted something to do in that game and you wanted to get done, it's going to get done. If you want your defense to play a certain way, there's not going to be any wonky things that happen to make that happen. They want to do what they do, based on their skill level. And that's in most, and I ain't gonna say most, but in half of these sports games, that's a tall task in itself. You know what I mean? Right. So I think they're in the right direction. And with this, I think it's really going to take them to another, I know we use this word a lot, plateau. It's going to take them to another level. I think that this is a really good move by them. Haven't heard anything from Axis, because Axis is supposed to be using Unity, and I'm gonna be quite honest. Maximum Football games just look better than Axis even to this day. It's nothing against Axis Football. It's just when I looked at Maximum Football, I immediately thought of NCAA 14 because the game, the body, the graphics, the player models, they look very similar. So I was like, yo, this is actually pretty interesting. So I was more geared to look and see what this game was going to do before Axis. I mean, we haven't heard any news from Axis in a while, so I wonder what they're going to do for next generation consoles. That's another thing we might need to investigate.
Yeah, that's gonna be. That could be it's funny. That could be. I wonder how their sales numbers were.
I'll put it like this, DJ. They cannot have the same looking game on a PS5 or Xbox One Series X. They can't have the same looking game that they had now. Like what Maximum is doing. Maximum is telling you, look, we're trying to perfect. I mean, we're trying to build our game for next generation. Axis has to do the same thing. Or, Danny, thanks for everything what you tried to do, but we dealt with this before. We just
especially with 2K on the horizon, the motherfuckers gonna get bumped out real quick.
That's another thing, exactly. So at least, even though with 2K football possibly coming, even with the arcade style going into sim, at least I have to give these guys credit for actually like, look, we're still gonna do us regardless.
I have a question for y'all.
No, what's up?
Okay, so do we think what are the odds that 2K's arcade game is still more sim than Madden's game?
That's a huge possibility.
It is. It is, but I'm like, oh man.
Because all it takes,
I honestly think it is.
Because all it takes is that you implement the arcade factors, but then you turn down the knob when you want to play like a franchise mode or something like that, and there you have it.
We still haven't really been able to nail down what exactly arcade is gonna mean for the game. We got a broad definition, but nothing concrete. It seems like there's a slippery slope that they can.
Yeah, because it's like, is it do they have the exclusive contract on a simulation NFL game, or it doesn't seem like they have an exclusive contract with simulation football.
I'm still trying to figure out how can you get an exclusive deal on something like that? That just sounds weird.
Yeah, I think that's like a word I
think they're doing wordplay. They're doing wordplay. That don't sound right. Like, we got an exclusive license to simulation football.
Like, no,
well, when you had the deal back in 2004, it was just for you to make NFL games. It had nothing to do with simulation.
So all of a sudden now you're talking
it just don't sound right.
Yeah, and more likely it is EA. Them suits trying to,
This is random. But since we're talking about exclusive, you know what I noticed the other day, VF? I was playing Ep.136. I noticed that they had an exclusive license. So EA's been doing this exclusive license.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know they had an exclusive license to NCAA football.
This is what happened. When the NFL when EA got the NFL license, the 2K tried to double up and get the baseball license. That's why MVP is no longer with us. Right. And I think at the same time, 2K tried to get the NCAA license, but 2K cut them off on that as well. Because 2K tried to do a twofer. Right. 2K tried to say, "Oh, you want to get the NFL license? Well, we'll get the baseball and NCAA. Have a good day." But what happened was EA cut them off at the pass on the NCAA one as well.
I mean, to be fair, the last NCAA football game they put out was ass.
Yeah, 2K3 was terrible.
That shit was
now, if they did make one under the same engine of 2K5, we could have been rolling with something. Yeah. But you never know.
I mean, that's the thing, man. So we really got to wait to see what 2K does, because like their over the top could still be like, I mean, shit, you could play Sim in NBA Street Volume 2 if you really, really, really wanted to. I mean, there were over the top animations, but if you wanted to just say, oh, we're going to play up to 50 with the NBA players and there's not going to be no game breakers, et cetera, you can do that.
You can do it, yeah.
But
I agree.
Let's see, the AI is straight broken. Watching both of them play. What is he talking about?
Well, he said the AI is straight broken. Watching
Madden?
both of them play are a dumb showcase.
Oh, he's talking about Madden. My God.
Oh, okay.
No, wait, hold on.
Don't know what down it is. What game is he talking about?
Maybe he is talking about. Maybe he's talking about Axis and Maximum. Daniel Daly, we're not gonna deal with this. We're not gonna deal with this 2K baseball.
No. We're not doing that.
We're not gonna do this, okay? Because look, there were elements that were trash, but we ain't gonna call it trash completely, because there are a lot of things that they did back then that MLB was starting to implement.
I will say this: 2K baseball from 2K. All the way up to 2K8 was actually pretty good. Now, when Kush Games left, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 were, I thought 13 was really good. And the pitching mechanics are still the best pitching mechanics ever created. Yeah, there's nothing about that. But a real football game he was talking about Madden when he said about this AI is broken. Watching both of them play a dumb showcase, don't know what. No, that's not true. That's not true. If you play CPU versus CPU, they do make an attempt to make it look different. That's not true. Let's see. Daniel Daly says he's about to play NCAA 14 on 360.
If somebody wants to watch CPU versus CPU gameplay, I would say the best game to watch it is PES.
PES is good. PS2 Madden is good. PS2 Madden are good.
PS2 Madden.
APF is not bad. It's not bad either. CPU versus CPU,
and of
course 2K, but they took that shit out. Me and DJ talked about that.
Yeah,
so you can't really even do it anymore.
They took it out of the franchise mode.
Yeah, they took it out of franchise mode,
but not. Yeah. You could do it and play now, but yeah.
Right. He asked about GTA 6 before. There was some news about GTA 6 yesterday.
Yeah, they said there's a rumor that is actually being in the process of being developed. What do you guys think? So, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not gonna come out nowhere near now. If the rumors now it is being developed, I can see the game being a 2022 release.
So they said it's early in development, but what they said was they were going to release it early and add on later.
They was gonna make it episodic.
So it said GTA is reportedly in the early stage of development, and compared to recent entries in the series, it may wind up being more of a live service title like GTA Online. It says
I'm not a big fan of that. They better not do that.
It said the sequel will reportedly be a moderately sized game at launch and then be expanded through regular updates. This makes it sound like Rockstar is planning to integrate the structure and rhythm of GTA Online into GTA.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know how I feel about that, because the thing is, let's say you're playing offline like we do, and you get to a point where it's like if the fucking campaign mode or the story is fucking not boring but just short, then you gotta wait for them to release.
It's not even that. Daniel Daly put it out perfectly. This right here. That right there is all. It all need to be said. And the thing about it is, Rockstar, they pride themselves on putting out. Now the game might play a little wonky, but as far as them having bugs and glitches, you rarely see that in it. I mean, you might find like an Easter egg or two, but you never find a game like straight broken. I don't know who this is calling me, then you get cut off.
That should sound like Mr. Perfect about to come out.
I know, right? Like when people call me and I don't know, like if it's not a listed number on my phone, it rings like that. That's how I know if it's some BS. But yeah, you have a big situation where a big possibility that the game could come out like problematic.
Rockstar would do that though.
Well, look at Red Dead Redemption. They came out with problems.
What was wrong with
RDR2? I mean, they had a real bad input delay. They took them big patch to fix that.
Really?
Yeah, well, input delay in that game was pretty.
I think a game you can actually do a direct comparison to would be the Hitman series. Remember the first Hitman? They went episodic.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So
but
that's why when they went with Hitman 2, they didn't do it exactly like that. They still had a season pass at the end, and you still had other missions, but they were beyond like the campaign.
See, GTA probably get me because like Hitman, I'm not too like hungry for, but
the thing is, GTA. The problem with GTA has a big pedigree of putting out good games, so a lot of gamers will give them the benefit of the doubt of doing this.
I think it depends on what the content is they're going to be adding. If you're going to add, like, okay, fine, maybe you're driving down the street, you see a different car that's been in the game before. Okay, you add new cars to the game, right? All the shit that's free. You're going to add new shit like that. Then fine. But if you're gonna be completing the game along the way in terms of
you're right, because some
mechanics, it's like if I see a new car pop up and I hadn't seen it before, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that.
But you're right though. Some people finish GTA within days easily.
I mean, yeah, you can do a speed run through that game pretty quick if you're just.
It's not even the speed run, Bills. Some people like to go play GTA and play the main missions and complete it. And after that, they'll go back and do everything else.
That's basically a speed run. So I'm saying, I don't want them completing the game with these updates. I want them to add things.
I don't mind them giving us the full game and adding things later, like how they did with Lost and Damned or Ballad of Gay Tony. I don't mind them doing stuff like that. I just don't want them to give us, okay, here's Franklin's episode. And wait till April. We'll give you Trevor's episode. No, I'm not.
I'll tell you what this shit honestly sounds like.
Yeah, I'm not feeling
like that. Fortnite.
Yeah, see something like that. I'm not trying to feel that.
It sounds like Fortnite. That's honestly what it fucking sounds like.
Hey, this is random. Check your guys' Twitter.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Oh, what is this? Why?
You know damn well I'm not putting that on the screen. You trying to get all those?
No.
Wow. It got progressively worse as I look from left to right.
I know, right? Here's another pretty good question, and I know this is not going to work, and I'm going to tell you why. Real Football Gamer says, what if Madden had a server online to where each player on the field was being controlled by users?
Oh, there's more.
That might be dope. Each player has it. He said each player has a gamer tag above them. I'm gonna tell you why this won't work.
Not Madden.
No. I remember.
I
remember because that's what I'm saying. See it, and with 2K that works because you can play with 10 players 5-on-5. something about Madden it won't work. I'm gonna tell you why. Because could you imagine how many people would try to do some bullshit that has nothing to do with the sport of football? For one. Second, they tried a 3-on-3 like this. Remember, I think this was like Madden 13. Remember, they had like a Madden squads or something like. Because I remember because the Zero Effect used to try to play it all the time, and it was 3-on-3. I remember QJB wanted to play, and there was a whole bunch of it never panned out, and they never put it back in the game. Now, mind you, this was just 3-on-3. Like one person was a quarterback, one was a running back, one was a receiver, and on the opposite side, one was a linebacker, one was a DB, one was a safety or something like that. And it didn't work out, and Madden took that out the game. That had to be one of these games. Let me look that up.
I mean,
what do you got? What do you guys' thoughts?
I mean, the thing is, you're gonna get linemen who want to just ass off, play around. You're gonna get other people who just want to play around. And it's gonna be like Park. It's gonna be just like Park. Motherfuckers just gonna play around, and you're gonna be stuck with motherfuckers who don't want to play serious.
There it is right there.
If you can find 11 people, be my guest. But if you can't find 11 friends, you're gonna have a bad time.
See, this was back in Madden. This was back in Madden 11. They had Madden 11 had 3-on-3. Well, we're not gonna talk about don't. Madden 11 got enough slander. We ain't gotta do that. But Madden 11 had a 3-on-3 online co-op mode. This was back in Madden 11, and
well, they have it in MUT.
Yeah, they got 3-on-3 MUT right now. But
what's that other stupid mode they have?
Superstar
that they added.
Superstar that would be forever stupid. I don't care about that mode, like straight up. I'm gonna pull this up so we can.
They tried to explain that shit, and I still didn't understand it.
This is the closest thing that we've seen. Mm-hmm. EA explains Madden NFL 11.
I remember that.
They had a co-op mode, and they say basically each player would choose a particular skill position, and while they stick with it, they'll be able to switch between different players there. So,
but they have that in MUT though. So
they brought it back and put it in.
Yeah, they brought it back
instead of having it as a standalone mode.
Because me and Jomar played that. It was, I mean, we were playing against a computer, so it was, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have the 11-on-11, but they have the 3-on-3. And it didn't do very well, so they kind of scrapped it. But with MUT, they feel like, hey, if these guys on the same team, they could shell out more money. So let's put them on the same team.
I'll tell you what I would be all for. I would be all for an online co-op franchise, but not online playing against other people. Like, say me and DJ wanted to play on the same team. Like, he wants to use the Redskins. And he controls a player, I control a player, right? Online co-op franchise like that. Not playing against other humans, but playing against, like, playing the season out. I would be all for that.
I see what you're saying. Okay,
I'll be all for that.
That wouldn't be too bad.
Like, because me and Jomar do it all the time, but playing against humans, I wouldn't. No way. Like I said, if you could find 10 people,
I can imagine like somebody playing DB and just want to be an asshole and just try to tackle a receiver before he catches the ball for no reason.
If you can find 10 people that you can trust, then fine. It'll be like Jordan Rec League. If you bring your squad, then fine.
Daily also
randoms.
Then you also asked it, what about an NFL street style type?
They already have it. It's called Superstar KO.
Yeah, I'm about to say, but I'm just saying, NFL Street wasn't online, was it?
No.
But because I never really got an NFL Street, so that's what I was asking. Real Football Gamer also asks, or you can control the defense as the DC and the other guy plays the control. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something right here. They should have did this how NFL head coach should have built. Head coach should have built off this. If they would have continued to make a game, now that would have been dope. Like I'm playing against you, Bills, and or like say if it's a 4-man team, I'm the offensive coordinator and you're the defensive coordinator of, let's say, the Pats.
They have
and DJ and so.
But you have to play though.
No, we're not playing. We're just saying like I'm the offensive coordinator, you're the defensive coordinator, and like DJ has somebody else for his team, and we'll run plays and we'll talk amongst each other, and we'll just let it play out CPU versus CPU. Now that would be kind of dope.
But here's the issue with that. Here's the issue with that. You can't trust Madden's AI.
Right.
Well, that's true.
So it's like your play call could be amazing.
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why NFL head coach 09 didn't really do as well as NFL head coach on the PS2 and the original Xbox, because a lot of people like the older version better than the new one.
Now, what I'll say
probably could have been an AI issue.
Now, what I'll say is I wouldn't mind if, like, literally you had a team. Like, we have, like, you know, me, you, DJ, and whoever else, right? We make our 11. And then if somebody wants to be the offensive coordinator and somebody else wants to be the defensive coordinator, they don't get to play. They just call plays.
They're saying it could be a 3-on-3 thing where like one head coach, two coordinators, and you play against somebody. I can see that something like that could pan out and actually be pretty decent.
Because 22 connections in one game is I mean you're starting to. Like,
I don't care how good your servers are.
It's kind of like a shooter.
You know, a game like that. I don't think that'll work out very well because you can imagine like, yo, I pressed this button and he did this. Well, on my end, it looked like you did that. Yep. Oh yeah, that'd be terrible.
If there's a way they could do it. I mean, EA servers are pretty good, but you know,
they'd be like, I was in this position. Well, on my screen, you wasn't in position. Like,
I think it would be dope to, you know, if you could find dudes who.
Oh, could you imagine how many people try to? How many people try to glitch and hack that thing?
But if you could find dudes that wanted to play line, it would be dope. Like if, like in an ideal world, if you could find dudes who wanted to play line, you could find dudes who wanted to play D line, wanted to play D tackle.
I think
and get 11 guys on each side. It would be fucking dope. Or just 11 guys and they play both sides of the field. I mean,
I think that I think that in a world like what we want, it now like what Real Football Game are talking about. Honestly, in a world that we want, the way that we play these football games, it will work if we can find X amount of people who will want that type of gameplay. It'll work because we already like-minded people that are going to play straight up by the rules, regardless how buggy or how the AI is. We're going to try to play it to have fun. But then again, you're going to have some people who just want to win. They don't even care about the principles of football, and that's where all the bullshit happens.
Like I still wish that me, you, and like 3 other people rolled up to Park like with an actual squad to play against those fucking idiots that were online. Because like 2K is one of the few games that are built where like if you have people who actually know how to play, like you'll actually beat them.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah,
that's shit online. Like that cheese and shit does not work online if you know how to play and you know how to set defensive settings. Like the people try to cheese for.
But once again, the developers of 2K knew that. So you know what they did? They sent all those guys who play straight up. They sent their ass to the Jordan Rec Center. You see what I mean? They put them over there because you notice in the Jordan Rec Center, there's no VC type of deal where you can gain a bunch of VC. Nobody's trying to wear these funky ass costumes and do backflips and shit.
Yeah, well, you got people who Jordan Rec League play legit. Like every time I've played,
they're playing legit.
Every time I've played, like my team is pretty much lost just because there were better players on the other team. They weren't really doing any stupid.
I mean, because they're more coordinated over there. I mean, their 5-on-5 is a legit 5-on-5. These are guys who. I'm saying these are guys who, when they're not working or whatever, when they're off work, they're texting each other on the phone. What my baby doing? Mama down the hallway. Mama left him in the bedroom, so you're running behind her. These are guys who are on the phone.
Oh, you forced
texting each other like, yo, we're going to play at 7:00. And it's like they probably got some group chat on their phone and all 5 of them are together, like, yeah, and they coordinate and they actually probably practice and shit and do. I mean, because if you really go in the Jordan Rec Center, just go and just watch those guys play. Like they're like really playing straight up.
We got to talk about this because
what's up?
That one that says badges have destroyed the game.
So we've seen this in the Madden.
I think it's players abusing those badges.
Yeah, I don't think the badges. It's not like the X
Factor. If you're talking my player, okay, but as far as the NBA players, no, I can't agree with you. I think
that goes back. Let's go back to what DJ was saying. If it's a my player, you know what these players are doing with these badges compared to. And we're not even talking about the my players that, like I said, go to the Jordan Rec League. Once again, those guys are getting badges because they're trying to build a legit prototype type of player that they like. These dudes on the park are like trying to get 40 badges for one player so they can, do NBA Jam type shit.
Yeah, my player is bullshit, but I think my only issue with the badges offline was that Motherfucker doing the roster didn't know which ones to give to people. And you have
True.
all those different tiers of silver and bronze and platinum, and
I
kind
just
of
find
implemented the whole thing from fucking my team with the platinum and all that shit.
The more I think about it, it does amaze me how well they're. I mean, and this is not like praising the game or whatever. It just really amazes me how well guys really try to play real basketball in that game. Like I like that serious. Like I used to go. Like I said, I used to go to the Jordan Rec Center and just watch people play. They don't play jacked up. They really play like for real. And I just find that amazing. Like we talk about these games that do this, that, and the third, but we do have one subset of a game that actually shows off real simulation values and some real simulation aspects of a game. And unfortunately, it's not really talked about because I think we all know that it's there. Yeah, I just find that amazing. Is because not too many people really talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you go to Rec League, man, it's serious in there.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like serious like I want to win by any means. Like, no, you need to step your game up, learn how to dribble, know your jump shot. You better pass it when I'm cutting to the basketball, cutting to the rim. Because we're running real plays. Like that's it.
I got thrown to the fucking Wolves. I got thrown to the Wolves. My boy was like, "Yo, I know you're good at 2K. I want you to play with my Rec League team." And he's like looking and trying to find people to hop on. And all of a sudden, I get in here with this crew. Them motherfuckers were cussing at each other like we have money on this game. Motherfucker, stop taking all the goddamn shot. I'm like, whoa.
No, they be dead serious. and I mean, they be dead serious because the Shakedown said it best. Shout out to Shakedown. Shakedown said this back in 2K13 or 2K14. I can't remember. He said it around when that game was out. He said he takes 2K serious and he wants to play with other people that play 2K serious because he's an older person. He doesn't have time to go to the gym and play basketball in real life. So this is his way of actually playing basketball in real life. And I thought that was really interesting. And that's what made me really watch people actually play. And that's when I really noticed, like, there's a group of people who actually play straight up. And then when they built the Jordan Rec League in 2K, that's when it was like everybody who really wanted to play straight up, they went over there. And I kind of see what he's talking about because there's a group of people. Only if Madden had shit like that. I mean, it's crazy,
But see, the thing is, like, the issue with Madden is they don't even have basic techniques for each position down pat. For you to even say, okay, I want to make this position a player because I kind of have.
Bills, you don't even hear about a run back. You don't even hear about a run blocking guard.
No.
You don't hear about a pass blocking tackle.
And certain drops for quarterbacks mean nothing, and throwing across their body means nothing, and and receivers coming out of breaks. And
a route running wide receiver means nothing in Madden.
That's what
they
I'm
don't
saying.
Even talk about it. They don't even talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like when you don't have simple shit like chip and slide down the line for blockers, for linemen, bump and slide and things like that. When you don't have those things, then I mean, shit.
You gotta understand, a mobile quarterback is just a fast person with the football in Madden.
That's what I'm saying. You don't even have principles for cover 2 that you had in the game before, where you bump a guy on the outside and funnel him towards the safety. You don't have shit like that. So how can you? So you can't have a mode like that because
there's no lock. I mean, you got to think about it. They got X factors in what's the other thing before you get an X factor is like in Madden
a trade or something.
Yeah, it's like a trade or something like that.
Superstar ability.
Superstar ability. See, they got that, but one thing I like about Madden 08 in APF as well, these traits they had were just basic traits that just made somebody different.
They weren't over the top.
They weren't over the top. Exactly. So it was just like if you have a shutdown corner, what you was just talking about, Bills, they'll try to funnel you on the inside, or they'll funnel you outside to make the sideline a part of like the 12th man on defense. You know, they don't have that. It's like with Madden, it's like, look, somebody's going to hit you really hard. Somebody's going to have priority when they get an interception because they're a ball hawk. They're going to run you over on the as a defensive lineman because they're Von Miller, because they have that X factor, or they're going to just be, they're going to be dead. It's that. It's not necessarily, the basic stuff that makes a player good.
Speaking of Von Miller, I just saw that he
coronavirus.
was. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it just popped up on the ticker.
Wow.
Here's another thing though.
Because that's the second. I think that's the second NFL player that.
Yeah, because the first one was that 24-year-old young kid. I forgot his name.
Right.
Here's another thing I have an issue with Madden, and here's another reason that it wouldn't work, is that they don't have movement down pat.
No, I mean
when you're player locking a player.
But that just goes back to what I was saying. Like a run blocking guard or a pass blocking tackle, their movement is totally different on the line, and they don't have that.
Yeah,
you're right, Bills.
So those things like when you're player locking a player, especially on defense, like I know DJ uses the safety a lot. The one thing I was experiencing with the old school Maddens that was like really the only knock that I had was that a lot of times if the game felt like you were out of position, they had no animation, no catch animation for you. You kind of get like the alligator arms.
Mm-hmm.
So the equivalent of that in Madden would be these days, the movement would just be fucked. So if you get out of position, there's no animation to say that you're out of position. There's no turning your hips to the outside, and it's just a lot of shit that isn't taken into account. So you can't really play your position according to how it's supposed to be played. I mean, it's fine for when you're playing against the computer and you're controlling every player, but once you get down to 22 players all user controlled, then it becomes a mess because the movement.
That's another reason why you were saying earlier that online 22 players is not going to work. I agree.
Yeah. The movement, it's like until Madden gets down the player movement the way Pez has it, for example, Pez could pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
Because at all times, acceleration and agility and all those things matter. But in Madden, they just don't matter because they've taken all the fundamentals of running and just moving, period, out of the game, kind of. At least on the offensive side of the ball. So,
yeah, and I think that's when you look at, like you were saying, like when we talk about these games now with 2K and even like you said with Pez or whatever, I'm just trying to figure out like why it's just never been this concerted effort for most games to just try to differentiate players. It just had, like, I know they tried to do this with the X Factor stuff, but they did it the wrong way. It's not like certain animations should be tied to certain players. And the only way you really see that is like the quarterback throwing animation. Like everybody else has other different, like a bull rush defensive lineman is totally different than a finesse one. So that finesse one should not be able to bull rush. And if you do, it shouldn't be that good.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? They shouldn't even be in there. Even if they have the animation, it'll be really weak. See, they don't even do it, I don't know. It's just, it's really weird. Anything else y'all got? Bills, I know you had one more topic you want to talk about.
Oh yeah, just dream matchups as far as like sports. I mean, I was talking to my boy before. I'm like, man, I would love to see like the 80s Lakers play against that Golden State team with KD. I mean, like, I think matchup wise, it's pretty interesting when you think about Worthy and KD, and you think about Magic and Curry and Clay and Byron Scott and Michael Cooper. It's like both of those teams had crazy stars. It's like I started thinking about like dream matchups, period, in sports. Like there's so many of them. Matchups that I think would be interesting.
Okay.
Like I mean, think about the Spurs. Think about the Spurs teams of like the early 2000s against like a team like the Pistons from like the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there are matchups like that. It's just like, damn, it would be so interesting. And then of course you have Shaq talking about how the Lakers would beat the Bulls hands down. What do y'all think about that?
No, that I'm like, And
it
it's
would
funny
be
because
it'd be
they
interesting.
have played each other. It's just one
it
was
wasn't
winding down, the other one was revving up. So
it would be interesting, but I'm not sold on that all the way.
I would like to see like the 99 Spurs against the 96 Bulls. That'd be an interesting matchup.
That would be interesting, yeah.
What's interesting to me is that a lot of people
but I mean, before you even finish, you can see this if you had NBA 2K14 with the mod.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy has mod from 1952. He has all the teams from 52 all the way up to now on the game. I mean, they're modded and they look like their counterparts to a T. So if you really wanted to do that,
because
you can do it there.
A lot of people talk about the fact that the Bulls never really faced.
Hold on, fellas. Go ahead, keep talking.
A lot of people talk about the fact that the Bulls never really faced a dominant big man throughout their entire.
Wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me that the people they ran into weren't dominant players like Patrick Ewing? Wasn't it?
Well, I don't think Patrick Ewing was, but that was just me. They were more so talking about the finals. I'm of the mindset that the one time the Bulls did, they lost, and that was against the Magic. But you have to take it with a grain of salt because, MJ still had a little bit of rust, and that team wasn't nearly as strong because they lost Horace Grant that year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of factors. The reason I think the Lakers have a chance, and the reason I think the Bulls would be a bit overrated in this situation is because against that Lakers team, you can't just bring MJ and you can't just bring Scottie and say, yeah. Because the thing is, that Lakers team was a lot deeper, and they had nobody to check Shaq. And Kobe, it wouldn't be a stalemate with him and MJ, but I think it'll be pretty interesting. Then you got Ron Harper and Horace Grant on both sides, so then you got to take both of them out.
I said it'll be interesting.
I mean, I'm not saying interesting, but I don't think either team is like a landslide. The 01 Lakers were really dominant. I don't know. I mean,
it seemed like
it depends on what years you're picking. You're picking with the Bulls.
Yeah,
the best Bulls team to me was 93. Everybody talks about 96. They faced a weak ass league that year. 93 to me is the best Bulls team ever.
That was a really good team.
But I could see the Bulls just running center after center, going up against Shaq. Yeah, Shaq would dominate them all, but the Bulls tend to look at when they played against a dominant center, they kind of looked at each center as, you got about 6 fouls.
Well, not only that, I mean, not only that, the way they played, they would have probably let Shaq get his and nobody else got nothing.
Pretty much.
That's just probably the way they would have played.
I question how they would. I mean, the thing is, both of these teams are pretty much constructed the same, except the difference is, there's a center and a shooting guard, and there's a small forward and a shooting guard as the top two players on the team. But really, it's basically two guys and everybody else. I mean, it's pretty much what you have. I mean, you figure the Bulls throw Rodman at Shaq and see what happens. But
even then, to be honest with you, no telling what may happen when that gets together. Just no telling, because Rodman is just, you're talking about somebody who's just a nuisance for no reason.
Daniel Daly said 09 Lakers versus the 09 Cavs / Celtics. Well, the 09 Celtics were hurt. So you can't, fully healthy, okay, maybe, but they're pretty much the same team as the 2010 Celtics. The 09 Cavs, well, they got screwed out of going to the finals because the league had to get Kobe a ring. So they said, well, let's give all these calls to the Magic that they have no business getting in the conference finals, and LeBron never got to face Kobe in the finals. So it's one of those things where I mean, look, every time I remember LeBron's teams playing Kobe's teams, they pretty much won every time. They just had the Lakers number. And LeBron most times outplayed Kobe in those games. So conventional wisdom would tell me that the Cavaliers would win, but you never know. The one team that I'm tired of people throwing out that would beat the Bulls are the fucking Rockets. I'm tired of hearing
that would have been a good series though. Doug Thomas said 94 Rockets.
Like I've been in sports group.
That would have been a good series.
It would be a good series, but I've been in sports groups where they kind of look at it as a foregone conclusion that the Bulls will lose. And I'm like, okay, let's think about this logically. Okay, let's say Hakeem runs wild and he gets whatever he wants. Who's your number 2 guy?
Hey man, quit hating on Sam Cassell, bro.
Rookie Sam Cassell.
Yep, it's ugly.
And fucking unimpressive Kenny Smith. And a washed Clyde Drexler, who already probably had fright night against Jordan because he got cooked in his prime.
Oh, it would have happened again. It would have happened again too.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, how can you look at the Rockets and say, I mean, who are you gonna throw it? Who are you gonna throw at MJ for 7 games? You're gonna throw Vernon Maxwell at him.
Oh God!
And you're gonna throw
Jordan would have had 60, bro.
It's like Vernon Maxwell. Vernon Maxwell was certified crazy, but he wasn't.
He would have been, but
he wasn't going to shut down.
But being squashed by Jordan, he'd be called Mad Max for another reason.
Right? Yeah.
But here's the thing, Daniel. Here's the thing, Daniel. So you're talking about Hakeem being able to control the pace, but remember the Bulls didn't play up tempo either. They ran when they wanted to.
I mean, you got to understand the '90s Bulls played damn near any type of offense they wanted to play.
They ran when they wanted to. The younger Bulls, the 91, 92, 93, they ran a little bit. Mm-hmm. But, once you get to the late 90s, they weren't running as much. They executed a bit better with backdoor cuts and all that sort of stuff, better reads. But, I mean, I don't see how Hakeem would be that
B5 is right. Yo, Apex, love him some Clyde Drexler, boy.
Look, man, he like that one-handed bandit all he wants to. That motherfucker with one hand, one way.
Yo, Apex, love him some Drexler. That's true, boy.
He loves some Clyde Drexler all he wants to. That motherfucker got cooked for like 36 per in that game in that series against whatchamacallit.
Freddie G asked a question. He said, "Are we playing the same lame-ass illegal defense rule when we talk about error versus error? Couldn't even do a double team off ball or early."
Hey, look, when I say that, people come at me for talking about illegal defense being the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. And me and DJ will never agree on zone defense. So I mean, it just look. I don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just look at the fact that one thing that in what Freddie G said, it was just like you could double team, but you had to commit
to fully double team, and I think it was
you
stupid.
couldn't be like half and half. But at the same time, they didn't have there was no zone defense back in the day. Everything was man to man. I think there were better defenders back in the day than there are now because I would say there's more team defense now than there is individual defense.
I think the reason why there were better individual defenders back then was because of the fact that they were allowed to do and get away with a lot more. If Kawhi Leonard was allowed to get away with the shit that they did back then, nobody would ever score a basket on him. Ever.
Yeah.
They wouldn't get 5 feet within the basket.
Because you can't even hand check now these days.
And he's still clamping dudes down. So it's like, I don't know if they were better defenders back then. They sure as hell weren't as agile. I don't know if they were even better defenders. I think it was more so the fact that the league supported them getting physical with guys in a way that was – but that physicality to me was a lot of times unfounded physicality. It wasn't even physicality.
I don't know.
Bro, hand checking is bullshit. I mean, it happens in every rec league game, and it happens on every pickup game. I get it, but at the same time, hand checking is such an advantage that it makes freaking bad defenders look like good defenders.
But when you can't touch defenders, or you can't touch the ball carriers these days,
I think there's a fine line.
I'm like, I would look at it like this, and you said it, and I'll point out what you said, the physicality of it. There were more physical defenders versus more, I would say now, more skilled defenders.
Daily, that's not true, bro, because think about it. What you're talking physical, but physical, no, there were a lot of physical teams. Those teams you're talking about, they more so play dirty.
Yeah, especially the Pistons.
We're talking about teams that play physical. The Cavaliers play physical without playing dirty.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics played physical without playing dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So there were teams that played physical. They just those teams you talk about.
I wouldn't even say that. Yeah, and the Heat being in there, I would say they played physical, but you put them against the Knicks, it got dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
That was just a rivalry thing.
They were flip-flopping players every 2 years anyway. Mason goes from the Knicks to the fucking Heat and back,
and then they flip-flop coaches.
If you were not in arms for your defensive assignment, league defense.
Everybody forgets Pat Riley was a coach on the Knicks before he went to the Heat.
He was. So here's my thing, Freddie G. Look, I agree with you because much like people say, well, if you can't shoot free throws, then you need to learn how because that's how they defend the hack and shack. I think if you can't beat his own defense, then I'm sorry, but you got to learn. I think teams have to have some way to neutralize the best scorer without saying, okay, let's man up against the best player in the world. I don't think that it's that simple. You're not going to man up against Michael Jordan. It's just not going to happen. And making teams commit to double teaming is such a handcuff when you're talking about Michael Jordan because he's a very smart player. He's one of the smartest players ever. I think there is value in physical defense. I'm not going to say that hand checking should be completely taken out, but hand checking to the extent they used to do it where you're basically just guiding a guy where you want to, I think that's a bit ridiculous. I think there's a happy medium that they need to find that you can make contact with a guy without shoving him and without guiding him where you want him to go. And I think the league would be a lot better, but I also think that the people that talk about the defense these days are overhyping it a bit because other than this year, the numbers for points per game and things like that are no worse than the 70s where you could hand check. Right. So, I mean, if you look at the number of 30-point scorers in the league now, it's gone down substantially compared to back in the day where you had dudes who had no business scoring 30 points per game because they couldn't even dribble with their left hand. They were scoring 30 because they were out on islands against dudes who couldn't defend. And I think it's a lot different now. I think there are benefits to every era of basketball. You just have to find, some people like 80s basketball. To me, I can watch any era of basketball and find some good in it, but I don't see this era as any worse than the eras before. It's just all about what you look for when you watch, honestly.
Right. Yeah. I totally understand that.
I mean, football, what are some of y'all's like if you had any dream matchup, like whether it's Super Bowl teams or like what are some matchups that you think would be interesting? Like maybe the Cowboys of the 90s against any of these Patriot teams, or maybe maybe that 91 Washington team against the Patriots, since I think the Patriots
the 07 Patriots Super Bowl team. Yeah, I would want to see them two go head to head because they said statistically the Redskins were the best Super Bowl team. Well, I don't know if they said best Super Bowl team or best Super Bowl winning team like that ever existed. But when you look at the first thing you look at quarterback versus quarterback, Tom Brady easily over Mark Rippon. Over Mark Rippon. But then you start looking elsewhere, skill positions. It's like the Redskins had the receivers, they had the offensive line, and they had a great defense. So it's just like Tom could do as much as he could, but I felt like he'd be bottlenecked against that 91 team.
I think
I think one game that I would like to see is not even a Super Bowl winning team. I would like to see the 98 Vikings go up against the Legion of Boom.
So
I think that'd be a really good game.
I would like
interesting.
To see another one. I would like to see the 85 Bears versus the 2000 Ravens.
I think it'd be that'd be a good one.
You're talking about
almost a mirror
game. You talking about game ending 3-zip.
Yeah. Well, it's better than the 2000 Ravens going against the Giants.
I would say something like maybe the 85 Bears going up against the 99 Rams.
That'd be a good one. And see, here's the thing: is the Rams had a good defense too. So I question how the Bears would fare because if they don't let Jim McMahon throw that ball, they could spot fucking Rams 14.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
I mean, because the thing is, like, you look at all these teams, and football is a lot about matchups, and X's and O's, and there are so many matchups I'm thinking of. I'm like, yeah, like the Legion of Boom and 98 Vikings won't be interesting just because of the fact that it's like, Richard Sherman's not going to be matching up against Moss all game, but he's mostly going to be going up against cover 3, which keeps a guy back there for that fucking go route, right? But then it's like, well, shit, they're not going to be able to run the ball underneath because Legion of Boom had help.
All right, guys, give me 2 seconds. All right,
so
not even just team.
Owen Ravens versus the 2020 Chiefs. I think the Chiefs washed them dudes.
I even go beyond just the teams. I would like skill position DB matchups, like Jerry Rice versus Richard Sherman. I wonder how that matchup would play out.
That'd be interesting because Sherman relies a lot on his instincts rather than athleticism, much like Jerry Rice did. So it's almost like mirror images of each other. I know a lot of people, the one they always like to talk about is Dion and Moss, but they got to remember, man, Dion can run with Moss, yo.
Yeah, Dion was a finesse corner, so Dion had the technique.
He was a finesse corner. He could run with Moss, and he wasn't small. He was like 6'1", 6'2". So all of those things, I mean, he could jump. You know what I'm saying? So I give Dion, I'm not talking about just for one play, but if you're talking about for a whole game, I give Dion the edge there. I'm not saying Moss won't get his, but fuck, I mean, I think Dion versus T.O. would be a much more interesting matchup just because of the wrinkles that T.O. has, the different ability that he has to be physical at the line, and also a great route runner. Things
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm looking at the comments. Freddie G, that would not be interesting. 2001 Ravens versus 2020.
You said under the 01 rules, motherfucker. It don't matter what rules they're playing under. The Ravens aren't going to score enough points.
No, they're not.
And stop acting like those rule changes are so much more so important compared to like. We're not going to talk about the Jack Tatum days, bro.
No. This didn't know they would. The 2001 Ravens would have been looking at that offense like, what the fuck are we seeing?
What the fuck are we gonna do with
that's exactly what would be.
We can't send 7 and 8 every time.
I can't. Ray Lewis be like, I can't stab anybody. What's going on?
I will tell you. I'll tell you what would be more interesting. The 2002 Bucks versus the 2020 Chiefs.
Nah,
because I don't care what kind of defense you're running. That Tampa 2 and the way they ran that Tampa 2, that's something that would have been nice to watch.
I would say the Tampa 2 would definitely add an element of interest because
it's not even the Tampa 2. It's just the way that team was set up for the.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
It's called Tampa 2 for a reason.
Yeah, they're specifically right. They have ball hawks and they have linebackers right now, cover.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Tyreek Hill is not getting off that line at least without getting hit at least one time.
They're baiting Mahomes into throwing that. He's getting killed. Right.
I mean, because Tampa 2, you basically jam receivers at the line, and you got people like Rondé Barber and what was the other one? What was the other? I can't remember the other guy. Dexter Jackson.
Yeah, Dexter.
Yeah, Jackson. Those receivers not getting off the line. So
Ravens Nation, you're talking about rule changes, but bro, I mean, like the game is not that drastically different.
Rule changes ain't gonna do a thing really when you see the RPO for the first time ever in your life.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you think the fucking Oakland Raiders were playing man up with no safeties over the top back in the 70s,
and the Ravens defense played downhill.
And this is another thing about the 02 Bucks. That RPO shit is not going to work because you got guys like Derek Brooks, you got Warren Sapp, and now this is not like a fat Warren Sapp. That defense was fast. Simeon Rice, you got
it's not going to work on them.
No, that's what we ain't talking about no damn Ravens Nation. Ravens Nation think 1979 Ravens will beat a team. That's how much he liked the Ravens. Exactly. There's not even.
I'd like to see.
But I'm just like the 02 Bucks. I ain't gonna say they're the best defense I've ever seen, but the way that team ran the cover 2, that's like the only team that I would know now that will be fit in today's game and will give other teams problems right now.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are one of the few teams from back then.
Shit, I didn't even talk about John Lynch. Well, John Lynch was on that team.
But that's what I'm saying. I think defensively, they're one of the few teams back then that would fit into today's league.
Right.
I mean, the Rams obviously would fit like a glove, right? Because offensively,
you had Simeon Rice,
Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp,
Booger McFarland.
And you had fucking John Lynch back there. You had Dexter Jackson catching everything that went to him because it's the only way he got to pick.
Yep, Dexter Jackson, Rondé Barber. You had Jamie Duncan. I mean, that defense was loaded. Like you really think about it. That's the only defense I can think of from 2005 on back.
Here's another defense.
I can even say 2010 on back that would probably fit in today's game.
Here's another defense that I think would give the Chiefs a bit of trouble. Those Dick LeBeau Pittsburgh Steelers, man. When you got Polamalu at the line, disrupting a lot of that RPO shit.
Not even that. I'd even go further back. When the Steelers had Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green, those dudes was
the 90s, they weren't a joke.
Those dudes not the fuck with. No, I can't say
too bad Cordell Stewart was the fucking quarterback.
I can't say the entire defense. But Kevin Green and Greg Lloyd in today's game will be monsters, like easily.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly was on that team for the Bucks. Like that 2002 Bucks was nasty, bro. And they were nasty. Pat Mahomes would not be the guy who he is if they played him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, sideline to sideline, they would be able to prevent him from breaking any long runs or getting out of the pocket and completing stuff down.
No. Not Simeon Rice was the only person that can keep it with Michael Vick trying to get to the corner. He couldn't beat him like if it was a race, but if Vick was trying to get to the corner, Simeon Rice was only one of the fastest dudes that can catch him at the corner.
So, what are you talking about? He ruined the Bucks. Motherfucking Dungy didn't even win a Super Bowl and make it to one, and then Gruden shows up and they won one. How did he ruin it? He took them to the fucking Super Bowl.
I don't think he ruined it, but we could make a case that was Dungy's team. Man. But I'm not saying that he ruined the Bucks. No,
shit.
But
the Warriors were Mark Jackson's team, and what happened?
Exactly, same thing. He didn't ruin nothing. I mean, we all know what time it is when it comes to the Bucks winning that Super Bowl. Where John Gruden is a good coach, but we know what time it was when it was. And then who did he face in the Super Bowl, Bills?
His former team.
So we all kind of knew what time it was when they won that Super Bowl.
I mean, I think an obvious they made the playoffs. Yeah, they made the playoffs. I said he took them to the Super Bowl the first year he was there. After Dungy only took them to the playoffs, and they lost to the fucking Philadelphia Eagles.
Then they
beat them the next year.
Daniel Daly said it purposely. Bill Callahan was whose offensive coordinator? John Gruden. And guess what he did? Did not change the playbook. It's like,
idiot.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from John Gruden. But we knew those two things. That was Tony Dungy's team. That was his defense. And we knew that dude knew the guy. He knew the whole playbook. Like,
he's a dummy, bro.
It's like, look, the Raiders never had a chance to win that Super Bowl, period. It wasn't.
I think another interesting matchup would obviously be the Patriots of this, this generation against the 49ers of back then. But I think that Belichick it is and it isn't. I think the 49ers top to bottom were built a hell of a lot better than the Patriots have been. There was never a year where Joe Montana had to carry them as a team. After Jerry Rice got there, but before that, a couple years, but
like the thing about the 49ers, because I mean, back then I was a 49ers fan because honestly, the Falcons were so bad, I didn't know we had a team.
Right.
So I was a 49ers fan, and it wasn't no player carrying that team. That they won those Super Bowls off of a team effort. Now, you had Jerry Rice had big games, Montana had a big game.
Right, guys will step up. Yeah.
It wasn't like it was like one guy doing everything. So that's one thing I like about the 49ers. Like,
and that's the issue with the Patriots.
Right, you had a team effort winning those Super Bowls, but
that's true.
That's one team I didn't care for them, and I still don't because they're in the NFC South, and it was always our rivals. But when I look at the Bucks, like I'm looking at the I'm looking at the chat. The 2000 Bucks, I just love the way that defense was built. That defense was built with physical, intelligent football players. And I'm gonna be quite honest, even with the Legion of Boom, and you had a couple of other defensive teams that came up after that, I just don't see a team that was just structured that way and played their part so well. And I hope one day we'll see that again, but you just don't really see that no more.
I mean, another matchup, I mean, if you look at that Broncos team that beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl, seeing them go up against a team with targets like the 99 Rams would be interesting too. I mean, God, that was one of the most complete defenses you will ever see.
Hold on, what team are you talking about?
The Broncos that beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl. I mean, you had DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller and Aqib Talib, and
that's another defense that I can say.
Chris Harris.
Chris Harris.
See, that's
Jared
another
Wolf.
Yep. Who was the defensive tackle? I can't. Was it
not Terrence Knighton, but
not Trevathan, was it?
No, but he was there too.
Danny Trevathan.
The defensive tackle was he got paid too, bro.
Yeah, he did. I can't remember his name.
I forget his name, but he got paid by Jacksonville, I believe. Malik Jackson.
Yeah, Malik Jackson. But I'll say that's another team that had like a lot of players that was talented. They were high football IQ, and they played the defense the way the defense was built. It's kind of similar, like I was saying with the Bucks. Like that Tampa 2, like I said, it was called Tampa 2 for a reason. They played it to the T, and the Bucks. I mean, and the Broncos did the same thing with their defense. It's like the Legion of Boom was close, but you kind of seen with the Legion of Boom, like everybody still kind of hide their personal identity. Like, Earl Thomas was who he was, Cam Chancellor was who he was. It didn't feel like a cohesive effort. It just felt like they were just a bunch of individual guys that just wanted to play and be a bunch of headhunters. That's why they kind of got exposed on the back end. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you see what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. It wasn't like the defense I was talking about. Like you just you don't find it like that no more.
I mean, I can like it's just I look at the Patriots Super Bowls of this generation and I'm just like, man, you play against some of those great teams that you'd have to play in the NFC that we're naming back in the day. Like, you catch hell. Like Brady's Super Bowl record looked a hell of a lot different.
Well, I mean, when you look at Brady, and there's nothing to take away from him, but when you look at the losses that he had, and I mean, I'm not even talking about I'm not saying I don't count the Eagles' loss, but we kind of knew what lost that game. But when you look at how the Giants played against the Patriots, that's the type of stuff we're talking. Hell, we can even talk about defenses of those teams. They played very disciplined. I mean, it wasn't to the level of the ones we're talking about, but everybody played their role very well. And that's one of the reasons why they were able to at least keep up and stay up with the Pats. Like the Eagles, they won, but we kind of knew that was mostly of a shootout. Like no defense was even trying.
Well, think about this though. It's like I'm gonna compare LeBron and Tom Brady for a second. You have two players who have been known to do more with less, right? And you look at the fact that LeBron's played the Warriors however many times he played them in the finals. It's like Tom Brady really never played any equivalent of that in the NFL. I mean, look at the teams he played in the Super Bowl. He obviously played well, but fuck, I mean, imagine if he did play a team like the equivalent of the Warriors in the NBA, where it's like they're undoubtedly the best team in the NFL.
Right.
It's like the only time you could kind of say that, I guess, maybe was when they went into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs. But even then, the Patriots kind of always are in the thick of things for the best team in the NFL. It's like every time the Cavaliers went up against the Warriors, like the Warriors were the best team in the league, and the Cavaliers were the team that's there to face them.
Right.
So it's like, man, looking at Tom Brady's Super Bowl record, it look a hell of a lot different if they ended up not dodging a couple of bullets, honestly. Even if they ran into the Packers a time or two. And it's not, it has nothing to do with him. It's just, it's matchups. So.
Yeah, I can understand that.
G League kids signing for
I can agree with
$500K. Well, we already talked about that day. I think it's before you came to the podcast. I said I hope that they really start taking a lot of these top recruits from the NCAA. And he was going to be the top recruit next year in college basketball, and he's going to go to the G League now, and I think it's great. Fuck the NCAA.
We kind of talked about this with the defunct of the XFL. We thought a lot of college kids were going to try that. And like, especially when you saw that one kid who left, he had college eligibility and he went to the XFL and actually played pretty good for the Battlehawks. So it's like, you know, if the XFL was still around, especially in year 2, I could have seen probably at least maybe 5 or 10 college players probably trying to go over and play. They might not have been no top tier college players, but they'd have been good enough to say, you know what, I wanted to go to Ohio State and I'm not going to be able to start at Ohio State, so I'm going to go play for the Roughnecks or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I could see them doing that. And they got paid on the back end. So anything else y'all got? We're hitting the 2-hour mark. I think we covered it. This is actually a pretty good episode. Really, really well.
You see this thing is that the Warriors tried trading Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson for Chris Paul back in 2011. Good God.
I can believe that.
I could believe that, but
I can believe
how different that team. Yeah, I was gonna say how different that team will look now. Holy fuck.
Yeah, but when you really think about it, 2011 Chris Paul was a hot commodity. I can believe that.
In 2011, Stephen Curry was still getting injured.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I can believe that. Man,
Oof.
Chris Paul. Jeez.
That would suck.
At least he got a job for life, basically.
They wouldn't have won shit.
No, neither team.
Neither team would have won shit. That would have been like, who wins that trade? Good God.
It would have been GMs fired that day.
Ugh, Jesus Christ. I shudder to think.
Yeah. Yo, they would have never changed jerseys or whatever. They would have had the old Warriors jersey still.
Yo, I wonder if they're going to bring up MJ almost going to the Knicks in 96 in this documentary.
That'd be interesting.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
I do remember the what was it, the Sports Illustrated cover or whatever. It was I think it was the New York Times that had the newspaper article with the Photoshop Knicks jersey on Jordan. I was just like, I remember seeing that. I was like, damn, that's a strong possibility.
It was supposed to be in reality.
What loser came here and gave
that
us
was
a dislike?
Reality. And what'd you say?
So what loser came here and gave us a dislike?
Who cares?
Yeah, probably Mark later. Who knows?
Later.
What about to say? And a lot of people don't remember. I mean, this just came out recently, but there was a moment when Kobe was going to go to the Clippers.
Kobe was going to go to the Bulls. People talk about Kobe being loyal. I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to talk ill of the dead. And this ain't really ill because we're talking basketball strictly. That motherfucker requested a trade once. He said he was going to leave if Shaq didn't leave. There's another time he requested a trade.
And he was going to go to the Bulls if Shaq. It was either him or Shaq. Yep.
And Jerry West was running the fucking Grizzlies at the time. Was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to sabotage the shit out of this team. I'm going to go ahead and send Pau Gasol there for Kwame Brown. And the rest is fucking history. So
Kwame Brown was dope.
Kobe might still be sitting there with no rings. He said he wanted
life after Shaq would have just been 3 rings.
He wanted Phil and Shaq. He didn't want Phil gone.
I don't think he wanted Phil gone. I know he wanted Shaq gone at one point. I do know that. I can't speak for. Maybe it's in. Wasn't that in Phil's book or something like that saying that?
He wanted Phil gone because he wanted Phil back when he couldn't win.
I heard that was a rumor at one time that he did, but I'm not saying that it's true. But
I'll tell you who wanted Phil gone. Jerry Reinsdorf and Jerry Cross wanted Phil Jackson gone.
They wanted everybody.
They wanted
no parts of that Bulls team after a while.
Because they're some bitches. They wanted all the credit, and I'm sorry if I'm ruining the fucking documentary for anybody, but I already know the story.
Bro.
I already know the story. Fuck it. I already know the story. I'll just give y'all a little insight. It's like, basically Jerry Reinsdorf and Jerry Cross were like, oh, we're not getting any credit for this entire empire, so now we're gonna break the shit down. And we know that if we don't bring Phil back, then MJ's gonna retire, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So enjoy the documentary. There's gonna be a lot more than that.
Yeah, and the way they were talking, like they wanted to play like at least 2-3 more years or something like that.
Yeah, they said they could have played. I mean, shit, they always say they would have won the title the lockout year.
I'll say, if I'm not mistaken, I think they wanted to play until 2000. I think they wanted to be together until 2000. If I'm not
bring everybody back, but
because you got to remember that was the '98 season, so I think they wanted to play 2 more years, and that was it.
And it was all because the GM was just jealous that he wasn't getting enough credit.
They played politics. They knew what it was. They knew MJ was a man of his word, and he said if Phil doesn't come back, I'm gone. And they said, well, we're not bringing Phil back. And then you knew Scotty was the next domino that was going to fall. And you saw what happened. Motherfuckers ended up in the lottery the very next year. Got the first pick in the draft.
Right. And when you really look back on that, we don't think about it now, but around 99, around that time, a lot of people talking about the lockout. It is kind of odd that a championship team just dismantled like that so fast. Like, you don't even hear, I mean, in football, you'll hear about it because a lot of free agencies happen, moving and shaking. But just for a team to break down like that after winning, that's like almost unheard of.
And the story hasn't really been told on a grand stage until now, which is why a lot of people
Shut up, Daniel. I'm not, I don't want to hear that shit.
What did he say?
The Bulls ain't been shit since. Ain't nobody want to hear that. Shut up.
Well, he's not exactly
he's not wrong.
No, but I mean, so it's like, it was one of them things. It was one of them things where it was the end of a dynasty, obviously. But here's the thing. Okay, I would say the Lakers ended as quick as that. Because think about it. That last year they got Karl Malone, they got Gary Payton. They were both gone the next year. Kobe was still there, and Shaq was gone.
Yeah.
And Phil was gone. They had Rudy Tomjanovich as coach.
Oh God, what happened?
Rudy T.
I think he might have. No, I don't think he's. Did he?
I don't think Rudy T died.
I don't think Rudy T's dead yet.
I know he had some type of ailment.
I don't think he's. Let me look it up.
I know somebody named Rudy that had an ailment and messed up the whole season.
Oh wow! Wow!
Nah, he's alive.
He's still alive. He's 71. He's 71. He's still alive. Man, fuck Rudy Gobert, man. He fucked up the damn league. Bitch.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell hates that motherfucker now.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, if that was me, I would be swinging on him, bro.
He probably did. You might just haven't heard about it.
Yeah, that's probably just never gonna come out. Until Donovan leaves the team.
They were like, we want to do a press conference with Rudy Gobert, like life after Corona. How do you? Oh man, he got this big ass couple of knots on his face.
You know what's funny? The NBA been gone so long, I forgot that fucking the Pistons did Andre Drummond dirty and traded his ass to the fucking Cavaliers.
Yeah,
yeah.
I completely forgot about
that. They traded him to the Cavaliers. Clint Capella got traded for a bag of peanuts.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. It was like right before the trade deadline, and all of a sudden, shit just stopped.
Yeah. Clint Capella. Clint Capella in
where did he get traded to?
He got traded to the Hawks.
Oh God.
Him and Trae Young would have been pretty nice. Be honest.
Yeah, Clint Capella. Fuck out of there.
Man, quit hating, man.
Anyway,
then you over here talking about Rudy Save Sports, man. Shut up, man.
Does anyone else besides Bills watch boxing? No.
I used to watch it in the 90s, but nah. I'm like, that's
Capella
to me,
went from strip club to.
I don't watch.
That's funny.
Nah, he ain't gonna be all right if you go to them Atlanta strip clubs. Trust me. No, he won't.
Wow.
Africans don't fuck with that gay shit. Let's swing on somebody real quick.
This is episode 136. Definitely appreciate everybody who came through. Catch us on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. Any last words, DJ? Not you, Bills. Not right now. You got
damn.
Go walk away with something worse than Corona. Y'all
He's not lying. He's not lying.
Yeah, you get the fucking butt boy pussy cancer.
DJ, what you got?
Well, definitely it ain't that. But I would like to thank everybody for showing up tonight. Everybody, this was a good show. We had topic that expanded to whatever,
like 7 different things.
You have a new name for the C virus, colored 19, and yeah, can't wait to see everybody next week.
I got a feeling that Al Sharpton's gonna be on the case if somebody get denied. No, this ain't COVID-19. This is colored 19, and I expect Donald Trump to do something about this shit with his racist ass.
Why would you go back to your non-existent church?
Well, you can't worship anyway because of social distancing.
Nah, according to some of these pastors, they had one pastor who was like, "Fuck that," and then he wound up catching it and dying.
Nigga said, I don't got a church. He said, I don't got a church of God in Christ. I got a church of beans and rice.
Hey, speaking of beans and rice.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
IMV gaming dude. Hey, they've been social distancing since 20.
Yeah, they social distancing with everybody's money. That's
they sit on a podcast self-quarantine like a motherfucker.
Look, social distancing ain't new. I mean, after all, Geddon's hairline's been social distancing in front of his head for about 10 years now. So. Oh my god!
I'm trying to think about it. Where the hell is IMV gaming? That's for real. Like,
what the fuck is this spit on face of the earth? They paid that man that hush money and dipped.
You right? Oh, good. That dude ain't eating up. He ain't DM me back at all. Any questions you want to ask? I'm like, yes, they making a game.
They either paid him that hush money or they assassinated his ass. True hush money.
But the thing about it is, DJ, you might be right. Dude ain't even been on Twitter at all, DM or public.
They indoctrinated that motherfucker.
They either gave him $45 or they gave him a Magnum 45.
I'm about to say gave him 45. Gave another 45.
I just thought about that. Yo, they've been social distancing for real.
That motherfuckers are witness protection now.
I don't know where they at, but they can get them people their money. I heard they got away with almost $200,000 on the real.
Millions.
They promised getting a new bottle of Rogaine and everything, bro. This shit was wild. Ain't nobody get their promises fulfilled.
Another person that's been practicing social distancing ever since 2016.
Oh God! That motherfucker ain't been distanced from a bottle. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, there's a reason. Like, whatever state he's in, I know he's happy as hell because even though with all this lockdown stuff,
liquor store's still open. He probably works at a liquor store now, for all we know.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, stop messing with the black man's hairline.
Hey, I got a question though. Like before we go, is Joe Montana VR? Is that still for sale? The one that the game that he ended up making?
I looked. I didn't see it.
I think LT actually bought it. I'm not sure. I gotta check.
Well, he's a better man than me.
Hold up.
I could be wrong. I don't want to put him out there like that, but I think he bought the game.
Wait a minute, hold on. It says stop messing with a black man's hairline. I don't recall Geddon being black.
Man, let's go, man. Bill, what you got to say, man? You got anything to say, Bill?
It ain't black. That motherfucker just whack. Don't even know cover 3. Whack out. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. This turned into a roast at the end, but I know y'all appreciate it because I see all the laughs in the comment section. Mm-hmm. We'll be back next week with, I guess, a review of the first 2 episodes. Yeah. And that should be an interesting discussion.
Tuesday, we're going to talk about, I already got it set up. I'm going to get a couple of mock drafts that's up from these quote-unquote experts.
Oh, God.
We're going to compare our thoughts against theirs. Because you know the draft is on.
Well, automatically, if they don't have Chase Young number 2, they're trash.
So
they're trash or they're 106 the Clan.
Oh God, 106.
That was funny.
You know them motherfuckers call me.
We're gonna do I don't think we're gonna use Mel Kiper's Ravens Nation, but we're just gonna
write themselves. Or Todd McShay's bum ass.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna
Todd McShade.
Because what I want to do, I want to get maybe 6 different ones from these so-called analysts that are out here, and we're going to look at theirs and we're going to compare what us 3 think about them. So that's the mantra of 137.
You can get Booger McFarland's old milk dud head.
No, I don't want. No, that's another one. Because his this is his take. All I know is
his take is
number 3
players his nose.
That motherfucker got a mock draft for the best fast food restaurants. So mock draft that motherfucker.
It's like his take on Monday Night Football be like some of the obvious stuff like
his number 2 be White Castle.
I know nobody saw this coming. Number 3 is Arby's.
Right.
Like what?
And number
I don't know what y'all saw, but I knew for sure that last it'd be so obvious with some of his slow ass takes.
Oh my god!
All right, y'all, but we'll see y'all then. We're gonna talk about the draft on Tuesday, and
they call me Booger for a reason.
All right. And I don't know about Thursday if I'm gonna be up the whole time for the draft because I don't even know how they're gonna do the draft. They might not do it the same way because I think I have to work that Friday, so I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think we can do what we did the last time.
Yeah, I mean, we was up 5 hours.
Man, that was
fucking marathon.
Even NYK.
Yeah, NYK was there for that one.
He was there, which I tried to bait him to get into this episode, but he didn't bite.
Trying to make his once a year appearance.
Right. So, but we'll see what we do.
Talk about the Jets to be able to beat him in anything.
Yeah, I know, right? Put Jets in the title. Another clickbait article.
That'd be funny.
Like Jets crash.
We'll see what we do at 138, but definitely 137. I'm going to do the mock draft, and we're going to talk about it then. So,
or tell him I was talking shit about the Mets.
Yeah, I know, right?
That'll get him here.
But we'll see you guys Tuesday, and we appreciate you guys definitely. Share the episode and let people know what we're doing over here. All right, guys, y'all be safe. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Peace.
Color 19.
Fuck the Mets.